up, y'all? Maverick fam, how y'all doing? Your boy Dion bringing y'all another epic rants episode. This is the series where I answer your guys' questions. How do I get the questions? You send them to me. Duh. At ReachiMav@gmail.com. I try to go through them, give you guys my 2 cents. Hopefully I give you a little bit of wisdom that helps bless your life. And so far, it seems like people have been enjoying it, so we're going to keep it rocking, right? So I appreciate everyone that watches. If you do get anything out of this, please do your boy a huge favor. Leave a like on the video. Leave me a comment. That stuff means the world. If you feel like that this blesses you, it blesses me with the comments. It's my motivation, man. It literally is my fuel. And when I respond to you guys, when you write some of these emails, that's what I tell you. Like, that's what keeps me going. Like, it's cool. Trust me. The influence, the numbers, the money is dope. But knowing that I helped y'all is the real fuel that has me up at 5, 6 a.m. not sleeping, pumping out this content. So please leave those comments. I need them. But let's get into it. First, email. I should have reread over these before. I just opened these real quick. Let's see. My man trying to start a new YouTube channel. Oh, that's why. Okay, so he's going to start a YouTube channel, and he's wondering, should he spend a lot of money and invest by buying equipment right away, or should he wait a little bit and buy stuff little by little? Yes and no. I got 2 thoughts here. One, I think it's great when people bet on themselves and go 10 toes down all the way in. I don't feel like you should be doing anything if you have stepping in it. And some people will be like, oh, I'll give it a try. And if it works, no fluffy, you should fail. You deserve to fail with that mindset. And with that mindset, you most likely gonna get steamrolled by ninjas like me that are giving it everything we got. And so whenever you do something, don't do it like, I'm gonna just stick my toes in, and if it works, then I'll commit. I'm gonna try in this relationship a little bit, and then if I feel like it's good, then I'm gonna give you everything I got. No. But people do that because they're afraid. They're afraid of failing. They're afraid of wasting money. They're afraid of wasting time in someone. But that's part of it. Getting these bruises, these scars in life. That's how you have to go through those to get to where you want to get. And your relationship might fail just because you're half stepping in it. A relationship that could have been great if you would have put everything into it. A YouTube channel that could have been great if you would have put everything into it. You're never really going to know if you could have done something or not if you don't give it all that you got. So for that reason, I think you should go. But that doesn't mean you wait until you can buy these, like that camera I got over there sitting. That's your, ooh, I got your email on the screen, so I can't show that all the way. But that camera right there, this camera, like those are like thousands of dollars for that camera. You shouldn't be waiting until you can get that, right? You should get you, if you want a face cam, you can get a decent webcam and then go from there. So don't just be stuck thinking that you got to be at a certain level until you can, you know what I mean? Until you can do something. You should be trying to take action. You should give it your best effort. So if you got $500 to put in it and that's it, drop the 500, go get the best equipment you can get instead of just doing, oh, I'll just do 150. No, do the best you can and grind. And as you get more, reinvest and then upgrade. So that would be my answer. Hope that helped. Oh, this was a good one. Didn't really even use his name, but basically saying, I am having a tough time understanding if tattoos are good or bad. My parents are very religious Christians and have raised me to know what's right and wrong. One thing they said was that tattoos are bad because God doesn't want you to mark your body. And then I see other religious people with tattoos. I'm really confused. Please help, Mav. All right, this is kind of one of them things we talked about, I believe in last episode. I was kind of talking about the entertainment that you watch, right? And how some people take more of a stricter view, some people a little bit more loose. This is kind of gonna be one of those. If you missed last week's episode and that sounds interesting, I ain't gonna recap here. Go watch the video, man. I thought it was good. But with stuff like this, like there's Old Testament, all right? There's Old Testament scripture that says you shouldn't be marking up your bodies, which is true, but there's nothing in the New Testament, right? And so we do have Old Covenant, New Covenant. I'm not gonna break that down in this video, right? And this is something I gotta be careful with. I love questions like this. I love talking about Jesus on the channel, but I feel a lot of you guys, like there was people like, we haven't been to the midweeks as much because I've been traveling. Sometimes me and wifey are gone, Juice is gone too, so we don't go to the midweeks, so there's not service in the midweeks. And people are like, I need Jesus in my life. Well, yes, you do, but we can't be your source for that. And so I like to address things, plant seeds, and you guys got to follow up, do your research, spend your time in prayer, reach out to more people around you and get these answers, all right? I'll start by saying getting a tattoo isn't going to decide whether you go to heaven or hell as a Christian. Now, I'm on the side, I don't have any tattoos, by the way, but I'm 100% okay with tattoos. Now, the people that are on the other side, now they're not just pulling this out of nowhere. Like I said, there is an Old Testament command against having tattoos and piercings, and so people that have that thought, they're not bringing it out of nowhere, but we're not living under the Old Testament law anymore. And then people make the claim, you know, that, you know, you got to be a good steward of your body. It's your temple. You have to take care of it, which is true. But I also don't know that on its own, getting a tattoo is necessarily bad for your body, or that because you get a tattoo, you are not being a good steward, or that you are doing something bad to this temple, right? Because some people, or that you're not bringing glory to God, right? Because some people, that's all they want to do. They want to get scriptures tatted on them. And of course that brings glory to God. And there's tattoo artists that take, you know, they take pride in their craft and they do a very good job, and it makes people happy, and they're blessing people as they're doing these tattoos. And then there's other things, should you argue, you know, is it coming from a super vain approach? Like, are you needing it for validation, for your looks and vanity and all these things, which are dangerous roads that you should consider? But by no means am I on the team that, hands down, without a doubt, you should not get a tattoo. You should not get a piercing. I mean, my ears are pierced, but I don't have a tattoo, but that's not because I don't want them, or it is because I don't want them, but it's not because I think that they're wrong to get. And I don't have any issues with people that do get them. Now, when you are talking about the tattoos that you're getting, I mean, I think there should be some thought in it, right? Especially as a Christian. I think that is a no-brainer. Even if you are cool with getting a tattoo, I don't think that you should be getting something that obviously is contradicting something that the Bible is talking about, or going against God and is not glorifying God. So, like, you know, getting just some wild tatted on you. And then in the same light, though, I don't think that every tattoo you get has to be a Christian tattoo. You know what I mean? I don't think it has to be, you know, John 3:16, or it's not a good tattoo. You could get, if you want to get some, you know, if you're just into art and you want to get some pretty flowers and this and that, and it looks dope and all that, I think cool. Power to you. So I guess to sum it up, I mean, this is something that Christians have debated for a while. And there are things that where it's not necessarily black and white, that people just kind of pick their sides. And you got to be careful with stuff like this, that you're not doing it to just like do what's comfortable for you, right? You got to try to look at it objectively and really listen to the Holy Spirit and how it's moving you, and not just try and find reasons to stay on the side that you're already on, if that makes sense. And so I hope I'm able to do that with me obviously not having tattoos, and addressing this before I ever had tattoos. And, you know, but I'm for it. You know, if you want to get them, then cool. But I think you should always be doing your best to try and glorify God, and be careful with what you get, if that makes sense. All right, the next questionino is from my dude, and basically he was with a girl only for a month. They dated for a month, and he says, to be honest, I fell in love. I know what you think, but she was just my everything, and I really felt something with her. And then basically they got into the summer, and she just disappeared on him. She stopped talking to him. I think his mom, he said his mom made her block him on stuff, and he just lost his girl. He doesn't feel like living. I feel really depressed, and I really don't want to live anymore. Please respond and help me. I thought she was the one. I really did. Cool, man. I know some of us older folks are low-key laughing, and don't get upset, but we smile and be like, oh man, young Thundercat. Right? Try and take this in. I was there. I don't know that I was like suicidal, but I remember my first breakup. It was my junior or my senior year, but I was with this girl for like almost 2 years, and we broke up. And she was like a little scandalous hoe, how she did it. And I was hurt by it. And like, I felt so crushed. I remember this time I was just sitting in a dark room, my room, all the lights off, and I was just sitting there, just like in the sunken place, just so upset. Like, wow. I thought she was the one, and then now I look back and like, I don't even know all the people that watch my video. I got people legit from like high school that watch every video I put that I didn't even know follow me. People will write me randomly on Facebook and be like, yo, I've been watching you for 2 years. You need to keep up the good work. I'm like, Ninja, I ain't see, you was like this random kid in my math class. How the fluff you been following the video? So I'm not gonna talk too crazy here, but I'm just very grateful that God has me with the person that I'm with now, and I went the direction that I went. And so, but back then, my world was crushed. And I was like, how could this happen? It was my first time, and it seemed like this is your first time too. I guarantee you, homie, when you are my age, you will not look back and be like, you won't even say that you was in love with this girl after a month. I promise you, boo-boo, you will not say that. And maybe there's some more older folks that can drop this wisdom. Like, I feel like a lot of guys go through it. It's just, girls go through it. It's just something that happens. Not saying that you can't have legitimate heartbreak and be in legitimate relationships where stuff can go sour and it hurts. But I think it's gonna come after a little bit more time. There's no way she was your everything. Because you don't have much at the age that you are. I don't remember how old you are. Oh, you're 16. See, like, you don't got much at 16, so she could be your everything. Let you get a few more bills, a few more responsibilities, meet a few other people, start to see how females can really be, and you ain't sweating this. So my advice to you is just hold on. It's gonna take time for this to heal, but I promise you, you're gonna laugh at this one day. It's just part of it, man. So do not end yourself. And here's my thing, and this might be selfish of me, but I ain't about to kill myself over someone if they ain't trying to kill themselves over me too. So if you depressed over here and you be like, I just want to end it, and she over there like living it up, well then fluff her. Don't let her win. I'm too competitive for that. If me and you beefing and I kill myself, but you don't, I lose. So I ain't doing that. So don't take that L, man. That is a permanent answer to a very temporary problem. And there's not much that I can say that will make it go away. Like, I just need you to hear this and have faith and believe. You're not gonna feel better right away, because I didn't. I was talking to everyone. I was having my pastor pray for me. I was just so hurt. And it took time. I don't know how long it'll take for you, but it took time. It was probably some months. And it slowly got, it had a little point where it hit its head and its peak. Then it just slowly got better, and now I laugh at it, and now I'm grateful. And so just hold on, man. You young. These are part of the experiences that will grow you into the man that you will become. You earning your stripes. This is a good question too. I'm gonna expand it like I do with a lot of questions, just to try and reach some more people, for people that even aren't a Christian. But basically, my dude, he's younger, he's 15, and he says, I found it hard to fit in with people. I find myself doing what my friends who are in the world are doing, and I feel very weak and nasty in my spirit, and I feel that God is very disappointed with me. So I guess my question is, being a Christian, how do you get friends without doing the things of the world? One, that's a really good question. I feel like you put that together very beautiful, my man. And I'm going to expand it, and this is for a lot of people, because a lot of people, you might not even be a Christian, you just doing things to fit in with people. And I feel like I felt that way at one point, probably the time where it's probably worse, as I feel like in middle school. I was always pretty chill, and people always liked me. I was very popular, but I was a little bit meaner, because I thought it was cool. Like, I might have done things that might be considering like bullying people. Like, I probably got in fights and put hands on people that I probably shouldn't have. I did it because it was cool, and I thought, like, I don't know, like, it was just, and that's sad that it's the world we live in, but it's like, and especially as a youngster, like, it's cool to do things that aren't, like, it's not cool to do, it's not good to do what's good. It's almost glorified and good to do what's bad. And so that's the time that comes to mind most when I hear stuff like that. But even as an adult, there's certain things that you want to do, and you want to get in, you want to be cool with people, but you feel convicted, right? And so the same thing, if you're not a Christian, you just want to fit in. And I think here's the approach. Friendship is an awesome system given to us by God, and sometimes in some situations it's more powerful than family. And God knew this journey that we on is very hard to do alone, very, very hard. And so we have things like marriage and friendship and family. I think it's necessary for you to tap into those resources if you're going to be successful. And so you shouldn't be trying to do this solo. And that's some of your guys' biggest wake up. I hope a light bulb is going off. You're trying to do things solo. And a lot of it could be coming from fear of getting hurt. Some of it's coming from pride. I don't need nobody. I know that was me. I try to do a lot. If you'll notice, I do I'm trying to build the team even bigger though. But you know, there was pride before I first ever got my first editor. It was like, no, I got to do it. I got to be in control. I don't trust no one else. I think we've gone so much further now that Juice is editing. And there's other things that handle, like, I don't handle much of like the daily dose stuff. And at first it was scary. I was like, am I really going to make sure Wifey and Juice are in charge of this, and they make sure it goes up and that there's episodes and that they're reviewed? What if something's in the video that it shouldn't be? Like, you know, like, it was scary. But as I start leaning on those resources, we've been growing and things have been getting better. We're only going to do that more and build this team. And so make sure you're not doing this thing solo, whether it's business, life, whatever. Now, as far as, you know, being tempted to do things that go against your character and what you want to stand for, I think you need to look at friendship as an investment, because it's very powerful, and I just explained to you how powerful it is. But to do it right, sometimes it's an investment, and it requires sacrifice. And the beauty about it is, if you're doing it right, usually when you get the right friends, they're going to be around for a while, and it gets easier. And so because there's so much value placed on friendships, you want to make sure that you're around the right friends. And I think a really good analogy that was shown to me by Pastor Brian, it might have been in one of the sermons we showed you guys, and maybe it wasn't, but he stood on a table. So just imagine me standing on this desk right here, and you're on the ground. No, the other way, my bad. You're standing on the desk or a table, and I'm standing on the ground, and we're holding hands. What do you think is easier? For you to pull me up onto this desk, or for me to pull you down? Obviously, it's easier for me to pull you down off of the desk. If we're having like a tug of war where I'm gonna pull you off before you pull me up. And that's the thing with friends. You gotta be careful who you surround yourself by, because it's very easy for them to pull you down. So this is a very important decision. And with that, you are already going into the friendships knowing that it might require sacrifice. And what is that sacrifice? That sacrifice might mean that you know the damage that a bad friend can do. So you will forego going to different parties or doing different things and not having friends in order to put yourself into position to get the friends that you need. And then some people will be like, you know what, I need more friends. I need more friends. Okay, what are you doing to make friends? You think you're just gonna sit at home and friends gonna knock on the door and be like, hey, what up? Or you're like, hey, I need more Christian friends. All right, cool, where the Christians at? You don't ever go to church. You ain't involved at your church, but you want Christian friends? How, Sway? How? And so the easiest part, even as a youngster, I don't know where you are, but I'm confident, especially if you're in the US, you can find a local church that has some sort of youth program, right? And just get plugged in there. Start meeting people. And people be like, yeah, but I'm shy, and it's hard for me to meet friends. Well, you can use that as an excuse and then never have friends, or you can step out of your comfort zone and say hi to a ninja. Trust me, you look back, you meet some friends that are friends for life, that build you up, make you a better person. You're gonna look back and be like, I'm glad I said hi. But, and that's life. Like, some people make excuses on why they don't have results, and that's cool. Some of those are legit excuses. You just won't have results. It's like, you can make moves or you can make excuses. You can make friends or you can make excuses. You can make money or you can make excuses. So some of you probably have to step out of your comfort zone. Go to some church functions. Go to your church, get plugged in, start serving. I know us, we start making our best friend when we start getting involved in the church, because we were surrounded by them. We had to work with them. We had to get their phone numbers and follow up. Like, we met really good friends doing that. So I would suggest that to anyone. And then if we're taking it out of a Christian space, just find out the friends that you want. Maybe you're surrounded by broke friends, and they say that your income is going to be the average of the 5 people that you surround yourself with most. You tired of being broke? All you do is hang around with broke people. All y'all do is broke things and talk about broke things, and you have this broke mindset. Where you gonna find? You gotta find some friends that are hanging out and doing some things that's outside of where you're thinking and what you're doing right now. You wanna meet some business-minded friends and people that are trying to grind and better themselves? They're probably not the people that you see at the club every Tuesday. Probably not. They're probably in the lab working. They're probably grinding. Are you overweight, or you know what I mean? You wanna get with some people that's, you know, healthier and taking their health serious, and you wanna better yourself, but you're just, you know, overweight and miserable, and maybe you're just sitting around eating Cheetos, playing video games with the same dudes all the time. Maybe you got to step outside your comfort zone, go to the gym, sign up for a cycling class, meet some people there, sign up for a boot camp, whatever, meet people there, surround yourself with that. And I think if we all looked around our life and look at the results you got, it might not be too far off to your surrounding. And the scary part is, if you got good results and you look at your surrounding and it's not that good of results, don't be surprised if you get pulled off that table soon. And so that's a very, very important decision. And so to kind of recap it, as a Christian, just know that it's not something that's easy. Like, I don't have no cheat code. It's like, yeah, you do this and you won't feel any pain, and they'll still want to love you, and they'll hang around you, and they'll get saved. No, the real answer is sometimes you can be like, nah, man, I'm not cool with that. And they're like, all right, cool, Fluffy, we'll go be friends with someone else. The end. That's it. And that sucks. That's not fun. People will not wanting to be your friend no more, or you having to make the decision that, all right, dude, I can't. Like, this is, and as a friend, my approach, I take friendship very important. So I'm not someone that's just really gonna drop someone. I'm always gonna be communicating, like, this is where I wanna go, and I hope you're cool with that. And if you wanna be alone with it, I'd love to help you. I'm even the type of friend, like, here, I'll put the team on my back, just jump on my back, I'll carry us both there, but I'm not gonna let you pull me the other way. I'm the friend that, you know, let's say you got exposed for being this horrible person and stealing money and killing 8 people and just being this horrible person. I'm not gonna drop you, man. As a Christian, I'm not gonna drop you. I'm gonna let you know, like, hey fam, you know that's fluffed up, right? You shouldn't have killed them 8 people like that. That is not cool, bro. You gotta chill on that. You really do. And I'm gonna try and work with you, and I'm gonna help you, and I'm gonna pray with you, and I'm gonna be there when everyone else isn't. And I'm gonna try and help you. And if you'll rock with me and you'll meet me, and I'm gonna be unapologetically loving Jesus. And if you cool with that, then we're gonna work through this. And then if you not, I tried. And so that's always been my approach. There's some people that I'm not cool with no more. And it wasn't necessarily my decision. It's just they had to make the decision. They weren't cool with me being who I was. And that's that. And I think if you just have that mindset that friendships are very important, and you might have to sacrifice to get the ones that really mean something and really affect your life in a big way, you'll be okay with that sacrifice. Like, all right, it sucks, man. I'm 16 or you're 15 and yo, I'm kind of eating lunch by myself right now. And there's things you can do so that you won't be eating lunch and you will be surrounded by the right friends, and you should step out your comfort zone and try and do that. But if you eat lunch by yourself for, you know, for some months or for a semester, and you aren't dragged in a way that's making you feel feeling very weak and nasty, I think that's worth it. And then when you do get those good friends and you're at a lunch table surrounded by people that uplift you, make you happy, and you don't have to walk around with those feelings in your spirit, you will look at that semester and be like, you know what, it was worth it. And God's looking at that and he's like, my ninja. I wish I had an easier answer for you, but I think that's life. Everything isn't easy in life, and making these decisions isn't always easy. So whether you are a Christian surrounded by people that you know you shouldn't be, a business person that's trying to make more out of their life, but you surrounded by people that ain't doing nothing, you gotta start pinpointing these things. And I wouldn't just necessarily drop people, but I would let them know this is where I'm moving, and you can roll with me or you can get left. All right, last question, then we're gonna get out of here. So my man, let's see if I can use his name. I'm gonna call him K Dot. He asked a question that I really don't think I'm qualified in answering because it's for weight loss, but watch how I expand this and then I move it into my realm of qualification, and I think I can help here for people that are just trying to get results in their life. So he said he reached out to me on Twitter about his diet. He needs to lose weight. He's overweight for his age, but his point is losing weight is hard. What's a good option to lose weight, and if dieting is a good option, or is fasting a good option? What diet or what kind of diet should he use? Any advice he's grateful for. So I know people that watch me on a regular. I got people, some of you guys are like fitness experts, nutritionalists, personal trainers, all that stuff. Y'all leave like, you know, your 2 cents on what you think. And from someone that has tried a lot of diets, I mean, obviously I'm not obese, but I've tried to get shredded, right, or sexy for the summer, and it's hard. I think most of my struggle is balancing like a lot of work and family, and then gym, and then dieting, right? All of that. That's my biggest thing. But I do have, so I'm gonna lob that to the people. So scroll through the comments for people that want good advice on the right diets and what you should do and this and that. I think some people have some good stuff for you. At least I'm hoping. Now, my 2 cents on all of that though. I've gotten results with so many different things. And if you follow Daily Dose, you've kind of seen us go through some of them. I feel like some of the times we probably weren't vlogging. Some of it could have been either last season or in between the seasons. But like, we tried everything from the paleo to vegan to Whole30 to slow carb to FOK to there's been a lot. There's probably something I'm not even thinking of off the top. Some easy ones, but you know, vegetarian, all this stuff, and a lot of it try cutting out gluten, all this. I mean, it wasn't always necessarily for weight loss. You guys know we had that really long season trying to figure out what was going on with my wife's health, so we tried all that, and then it's hard. So my motivation to it was like, all right, I'm gonna get ripped, and I got really good results with some things not as much, but like they all work. Every one of those has a testimony. Everyone is like, yo, I got crazy results with keto, and they right, it worked for them. And the other person's like, no, I was a vegan and look at me, and it's like, yeah, I see that, it works. Some people are like, yo, I ate 6 times a day and look at me, I lost weight. Yeah, it worked. Some people are like, no, I did intermittent fasting, I only ate once, or I ate in a 4-hour, 6-hour eating window, and look at my result. Yeah, it worked. You see the results. Someone's like, no, I ate every other day. I fasted 24 hours and then I would eat and I would fast. And look, it worked. Like, they're fine. They work. And then you can get into all the science, and then people got scientific studies backing this and then backing that. It's confusing. It's crazy. So I'll leave all the debating, because one person that does paleo, the other person gonna swear, nope, that doesn't work because of this, do that. And I don't know that either one of them are right? So I don't think there's nothing wrong with you trying to find out what works for you. But again, people will probably throw a lot of articles and science and everything. I'll let them do that in the comments if they want. But up here on trying to get results, here's one thing that I found, and is 100% the biggest reason why I probably haven't got as far or end up quitting or not getting the results I wanted on some of these diets. And while you'll see people that do get results on diets, they'll bounce back and lose it. It starts up here, self-image. That mental self-image is so important, and it's such a big deal. And it's not just in weight loss, it's in everything. It's in business, it's in success. And if I compare my mental image as far as physically with fitness and getting in shape and ripped, and I compare it to like the self-image I have of myself with my work ethic and business and grinding, they're two different. And it's something like this. And if I were to elevate this self-image up here, I 100% would get those same results in this part of my life that I'm getting over here. And so I've kind of talked about this before. I feel like maybe it was on Daily Dose, but you have this thing that is there a rubber band in there you can throw me? All right, this is your self-image. What is your self-image? Your self-image is what you believe about yourself. What are these labels that you're putting on yourself, right? So like right now, yours is that you need to lose weight, that you're overweight for your age. That's part of your self-image. And so you need to change that, because how our subconscious mind works, the subconscious mind is all about survival and keeping things on the path that they are supposed to be according to itself. And of course, and I'll talk about how you can change it, but let's say your self-image subconsciously is that you are overweight. You will extend and you will try to break that self-image by losing weight. But then your subconscious mind will kick in and will be like, hold up, no, this is not right. We need to course correct. This is not our self-image. This is too wide for us. And it will snap back to what it knows to be true. And that's why people will self-sabotage. They will start to do good and then fluff things up. And it almost seems like it happens every time. Like, I'm doing so good. I'm starting to break this addiction. I'm starting to do this. And then I always find a reason to end up back here, because that's your subconscious mind is telling you that, no, this is not us. This is us, and we need to get back to this. So things always, you subconsciously start triggering these different things, and you self-sabotage, and you get back to this norm where you're comfortable, because this is not very comfortable. This isn't a comfortable place. This is stressful. There's fear involved in here. This is doing something different. This doesn't feel good. And so your subconscious has to snap back to where you're comfortable. And so how do you change that? Visualization is probably the best way I've experienced in my life. Positive affirmations, talking to yourself, saying positive things. So don't from here on out, don't label yourself as overweight. Say, I'm a lean, mean, fighting machine. And then visualize before you go to bed, as soon as you wake up. I think there's some studies that people think it's like best to do it before night. I usually do it like in the morning. At night, it could be hard for me because I get motivated. If I start visualizing myself doing something and being successful, I get pumped and I won't go to sleep. I'll do it all night. And so usually don't do it at night. If I can't sleep, that's usually what I'm doing. You can do it at night if it works for you. Do it in the morning, but start with 5-10 minutes and visualize yourself as far as you can go. So if you're super overweight right now, let's say you're 300 pounds, it might be hard for you to imagine yourself just like lean, six-pack and all that stuff. So just visualize yourself, and you gotta make it believable to yourself. Get yourself down to 200. So visualizing and bringing as many emotions and feelings as you can to feeling that and making that true. Because what's crazy is about your subconscious mind, it doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's fake. So I've done this before, and I'll be quick here, but if you can do this experiment on your own, close your eyes and imagine a lemon, right? A lemon. And imagine you like cutting it on the table, the juice is spilling out on the table, and you picking up that lemon and squirting it in your mouth. Like, close your eyes and really imagine that with as much detail, all the different bumps and grooves on the lemon, the smoothness of the table. How does the knife feel in your hand? And do you feel like some juice squirt on your thumb when you cut it? And then as you're squeezing it, how does it feel on your tongue? Is it a little bit sour? Do that. And as you do that, you'll notice your body start to respond, like your mouth will start to water. Or maybe you thought of your favorite food and you just, you get hungry. Your body responds to things that aren't real. Most of the fears in our life aren't real. And so as you do this over and over, your subconscious doesn't know that it's not real, and you reprogram to being this. You make this your new norm. So then, instead of you trying to fight to make this your norm, subconsciously this is your norm, and it gets easier. So then what happens is anytime you try to do something that's beneath you now, and you start to go like this, your mind's like, no, now it's working for you instead of against you, and it snaps back to this. It's like, nah, we don't do that. So some examples for me, I just work hard. I do. I believe I am in the top 1%. Probably I might be the hardest working ninja on earth. Like, I just believe that, right? And some people might disagree, but it's fluff what you think. I work hard. I know I do. It's just my truth. It's my self-image. So anytime I want to do something that's like lazy and just taking the easy route and not working hard and grinding, boom, I snap back. Nuh-uh. it's time to work. That's just me. It's my self-image. And some of your, what sucks for a lot of you guys is that your self-image, this is programmed for failure. So anytime you try to succeed or things start going right, you get uncomfortable, you get scary, you get scared, and then of course you snap back. So the goal is to use tools like visualization, and then you just gotta persevere with your conscious mind, because as you start to stretch, you get fearful. Dang, man, what if I fail? What if people laugh at me, man? What if this doesn't really work out? Then you get scared. You start maybe even doubting yourself, but you have to push through this stretching phase. You have to push through the stretching phase. You got to use tools like visualization, positive affirmations, speak to yourself in a positive way. And even biblically, the Bible tells us stuff like, a man is what he thinketh, and it tells us that life and death, and it tells us about the power of our tongue. And so we need to be speaking positively about ourselves, about others. We need to be thinking positively about ourselves, about others. And we start to stretch, and this becomes our new norm, and the success becomes a lot easier. So I think that'd be a big tool for you in your weight loss. But as you see, I kind of stretch that to fit other people and other things. Whatever you're going through, if you've had this thing you've been tackling forever and you have not been able to get results in it, I think this is a great place for you to start. And you can probably, some of y'all are like jumping up, and you're so fired up right now because you're like, yo, that's it. That's why I can't be faithful in my relationships, because I've just been ingrained. Sometimes it's from you, sometimes it's from others, that like, yo, I'm just not good at relationships. Like, some people say that, like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, or, I'm always gonna be this. No, you're not. You've just programmed this. So it's not gonna be fun, and it's not gonna be easy. It's gonna take some time, but you gotta reprogram, and that's it. Things start to go good in your life, and you're just like, dang it, man, you're preaching, because I'm at here right now, but I always just do this, and now you know. Now you know. So I was kind of long-winded with that, but I hope I brought it home eventually for some of you guys, and it blesses you and it helps you. So some actionable steps would be to, this shouldn't be hard for you to answer. Most of these, they're already top of mind, but just start writing down some of the words you're using to label yourself. What are you doing? And we've done something like this before, but you got to identify these things, and that is the key to where you're at in your life right now. And then once you identified that, figure out exactly what it is and what you want this behind this wall of fear and comfort, and then find the steps that you can take that will get you over that wall. So the things that you're most afraid of doing. Maybe it's for you of losing weight. Maybe you don't even want to put it out there because you don't want people to you don't want to be embarrassed if you fail. Put it out there, because now you got people that'll hold you accountable, and the people that know you're trying to lose weight. So when they see you making bad decisions, they gonna be like, hey, I thought you said this, ninja. Maybe it's signing up for a gym. I've talked to people that are overweight and they're embarrassed to go to the gym because they feel like they're gonna be laughed at. I hate that. Yo, if I hear you making fun of people that's at the gym, I low-key want to probably uppercut you, because it's like, where else should they be if they're trying to fix a problem? That's like making fun of a sick person for going to the doctor. They there trying to fix something, and that's where you should be. You shouldn't be embarrassed. You got to push through these things. So whatever it is, whatever you got, identify what you're labeling yourself as, and identify the steps you need to take to bust through that wall of fear and comfort. And you'll be reprogramming this. And then take the time out your day to do 5-10 minutes a day minimum. At one point in my life, I know I was doing probably up to like an hour. I don't do that now, and that's probably something I do need to up my game on, is visualization. But yeah, that's something I can definitely speak on. Everything I've kicked right here, I do credit it for a lot of my success, and I do feel like it's biblical. I do, but you don't got to be a Christian to use it. So hope that helped. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you for the support. It means the world. If you have questions, write to me at ReachiMav@gmail.com. Don't forget to leave a comment and a like if this blessed you, because you leaving that stuff blesses me. I'll see you guys next week. Until then, God first, God bless.